Let's walk people through an example of how you slice and dice a piece of content to really get a lot of mileage out of it. Let's assume we're an employee benefits platform and we have just created a 4-part webinar series that really deep dives into one topic. What do you do with that?
So one thing I would think about in that situation is 4 different topics from your webinar, and could you create something like an ebook out of that? So can you take key points from those 4 webinars and create sort of I guess you could call it a summary within that ebook of those different topics and just key points from that. So you're not overwhelming them with pages and pages of transcription from your webinars, but you're just pulling out those key points and creating sort of an overview or a summary within an ebook for your audience.
And then as a designer, of course, the first thing I think of is infographics. You can take all those 4 points and make them each into their own infographic. And that's 4 pieces of content right there.
Yep. And you could create articles from each of those webinars. And then let's say you take 5 social posts of key points from each webinar. Again, there's 4 webinars. And let's say you take 3 30-second video clips of key points from each webinar, 4 webinars. So if you do the math on the example that we just gave, okay, you're doing a 4-part webinar series. So you've got 4 webinar recordings. You create 1 ebook out of it. You create 4 infographics, 1 for each of the webinars. You create 4 articles, 1 for each of the webinars. You create 5 social point posts for each of the webinars times 4. So that's 20 social posts. And then 3 30-second video clips from each webinar times 4 is 12 video clips. So from that 4-part webinar series, you've now created 45 content pieces.